Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Sportscast. We are live in the studio once again, and today we have a very special episode because we are joined by a couple of guests. Before I introduce my guests, I'll make the same announcement as per usual, and that is for all the listeners listening to Sportscast today, please do engage with us, especially today because we have a special show. So if you are interested in calling in and speaking to our guest today, call in on 01582 481822. As usual, you can also message us on WhatsApp on 07779 481822. And I will also be reading out comments on our live streams on Facebook and YouTube. So please do comment, let us know what you think, and do engage with us. So without further ado, I'm joined by some very special guests today. We have a professional boxer in the studio, Saqib Mehmood, and we have a friend of Saqib as well, Arif. So, Saqib, how are you doing? Do you want to introduce yourself to all of our listeners?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you. And just to thank you for having me on the show today.
No, the pleasure is ours for sure. And Arif, what brings you here today as well?
Strong, yeah. So, Saqib came today, obviously, Luton. So, he just shied me and I said, why not? It'd be a good opportunity for me to be on the radio. So, thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure as always. How did you come to know Saqib? You a childhood friend or recently meet him?
Now, we've known each other for almost 10 years, again through boxing. So we boxed in the same club. So our old coach, he's taken us to so many countries for different tournaments, boxing tournaments, and I've been to a lot of his fights. So,
right. So you also an aspiring professional?
Now, I'm an amateur boxer at the moment. Inshallah, probably, I don't know, let me see. Maybe towards the end of this year or start of next year, I'll turn pro, inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah. And gentlemen, how old are you? So Arif and Saqib, how old are you?
I look quite young, but I'm actually 25, believe it or not.
I would say you look your age.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How old do you think I am?
Well, you told me, so it's cheating.
I'm 22, but I always get older.
Yeah, I mean, you could get away with being a year or two older. I think I look older. I recently went Umrah, so I shaved my head, and I only realized now I've started to lose hair. I didn't know before. Only when I shaved it, I was like, damn, that's added another 10 years on me, man. How old do you think I am?
I would say like 28.
I'm 30.
I was going to say early 30.
Close enough. So a pleasure to have you guys, Saqib and Arif. Saqib, talk us through your boxing background. What got you into boxing to get to the place where you are today to finally be a professional boxer?
Yeah, so obviously I'm 22 now, but I started boxing relatively late on in my life. Most kids, they start when they're just like 10 years old or something. I started when I was just before I turned 16 in high school. I was in year 11. Long story short, my brother used to be a boxer. He had just turned professional. He's one of the first Asian boxers in Luton.
Oh, wow.
But then unfortunately, he made some mistakes and he ended up going to jail.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So when he went to jail, I felt like someone needed to make the family dream come true. So I got into it, and time's flown by. Alhamdulillah, I'm here now. This opportunity, I'm getting these opportunities on these big stages, and I'm trying to make the family dream come true.
Nice. So out of interest, where did you start? In Luton?
I started in Luton on Maple Road, Strike 06. The best gym in Luton by far. We started off there, and when I went there, Arif was there as well at the same time. But Arif, you probably was there for about a year before me.
Yeah, about 2 years, about a year or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I met Arif for the first time. So, like you said, 10 years I've known him for quite a long time now.
So out of interest, what weight class are you both fighting at? So yourself?
So me as a professional, I'll be boxing at super featherweight, which is around 59 kg. Which is quite hard to make sometimes, especially the way I eat. But
super featherweight is that around 130 pound roughly?
Yeah, that's 130 pounds bang on.
130 pound, and yourself?
Me, I right now probably walking about 55, 56, but I normally box at maybe like 51 kilos, so that would be like men's flyweight.
Men's flyweight, yeah. Well, that's where Manny Pacquiao started. Yeah. You actually look a bit like Pacquiao as well.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Okay, so Saqib, that's quite surprising that you started around the age of 16.
Yeah.
I mean, most professionals, like you said, they either start 5, 6 years old. They're in the amateurs for about 7 or 8 years. They rack up 50, 60, sometimes over 100 fights before they turn pro. So how many amateur fights did you have?
Yeah, surprisingly, I only had about 22, 23. Yeah, I had less. Obviously, when I started boxing, COVID years came and I took a lot of years out. But yes, most people are surprised when they hear that I've only had about 22, 23 amateur fights. But I believe that I was fast-tracked a little, you know, in terms of, I feel like I progressed quicker than my fights.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I didn't box like someone who had 20 fights. I was boxing like someone with 40 and 50 fights. So I got fast-tracked, and before you knew it, I turned professional, and I just got the career started.
So tell us about your style. What style of fighter are you? Are you a knockout artist? Are you a boxing purist that likes to use the jab?
Obviously, I'm a southpaw, which is quite unique in itself. With the 2 professional fights, I could say that I'm very flashy. I'd like to say, yeah. I like to keep people entertained. I feel like everyone's come to my fights. They always entertain, and in the 2 fights I've just had, I feel like everyone comes up to me after and says I was the best fighter on the card. So
nice.
At least people get their money's worth when they come to watch me.
Nice. So what's your amateur and professional record?
So my amateur record, I lost 3 fights, all on split decisions, and now I'm 2-0 as a professional.
Okay, so 19 wins, 3 split decision losses, and then 2-0. That's a very, very impressive record.
I think it might be 21 wins. I'm on 24 fights.
Okay. Thing, yeah, but I mean, you've never been knocked out. I mean, have you ever been knocked down?
No, I've never been knocked down. Knocked out. Hopefully never.
Hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully we see you on a main card in the next few years, inshallah. And yourself, Arif, what type of boxer are you?
I would say I'm more of like a front foot walking forward fighter, like more of like a Mexican style, just coming, taking in shots.
So you take a lot of hit, and you're a bit like a Triple G, yeah. But in the flyweight division. Yeah, that's like who was the flyweight legend? Chocolatito, isn't it? Roman Gonzalez. Yeah, that's it. You've got Inoue. Yeah, you got Nayo Inoue as well. He fights around your weight, doesn't he?
No, he's in the middle of the 2 bantamweight. The one that's his weight is that Bam. Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah. No, some amazing legends there. I think Inoue he's pound for pound one of the best in the world, man. Amazing fighter. So it's interesting, Arif. I was speaking to you just before the show. You started your boxing journey in Luton, and then you moved to Sheffield. What brought you to Sheffield? What was the reason?
Oh, you said Arif, man. Me, Saqib. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I meant Saqib. Yeah.
So, like I said, we just decided to move to Sheffield as a fresh start. Me and my family. I don't know if you know, but Luton's quite hard to get into boxing. There's very few boxers who have come from Luton and made it out of Luton onto big platform on the big stage. And up north, there's much more opportunities in the boxing world. So we moved to Sheffield a few years ago, and ever since then, obviously it's been hard at times, but since then I feel like it's really helped my career. I don't feel like I feel like it's given me the best opportunity I could have possibly got in terms of the trainers that I work with, world-class trainers. I've sparred multiple world champions, and I can't ask for anything better at this stage of my career.
Awesome. So you said you've got much better, world-class trainers and world-class people that you've sparred with. Who is your trainer? Is he well known? Does he Does he train any other fighters? And what are the sort of names that you've sparred with?
Yeah. So obviously I trained with a man called Jason Cunningham. He used to be a boxer himself. He's one of very few boxers who has won titles at every stage, from Central area all the way to European, and he boxed for a world title. Unfortunately, he lost. So he's been at every stage. He's seen all the highs and lows of the sport. So I feel that that's a good person to be around this stage of my career. And then in terms of who he trained, you know who Josh Padley is? He fought Shakur on a few day notice. Name
rings a bell. Yeah. So, I know Shakur obviously, but Josh Padley just rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Shakur on a few days notice. So a lot of people know for that. He was an electrician who became a full-time boxer.
Wow.
Yeah, now he's with Matchroom, so we train together. There's Terry Harper as well, who's a world champion. And there's quite a few of us. There's people at every level in the gym, from English level to world level. So I get good. I feel like I'm at a good place in my career.
Awesome. And you said you've sparred some world-class opponents as well. So what are the sort of opponents that you've been in the ring with that you spar with?
Yeah, so obviously being a southpaw and stuff, sometimes when I get called for sparring, is to replicate fights. So I've been called in for a lot of camps regarding so I've sparred Joe Cordina before when he was training to fight Shakur, who's Joe Cordina being a 2-time world champion. I sparred Josh Warrington a few times. I sparred him I sparred him for this fight, for my fight just now.
That's a big name, yeah.
I sparred him. He's obviously a 2-time world champion. Sparred Maxi Hughes, who's a former world champion.
Wow.
I sparred the likes of Eko Esserman multiple times for multiple camps. So these are all world-level fighters, and sharing the ring with them on multiple occasions this early on in my career, it speaks volumes of my talent and my ability.
Yeah, and how was it being in the ring with these guys, the likes of Josh Warrington? You know, did you hold your own? How was the experience?
Yeah, obviously sparring is sparring, but I feel like I've always performed well in sparring. Sometimes people are surprised the way I perform in sparring, considering my very less amateur career compared to some others. And when I used to spar these guys, I didn't even have a professional fight. So to be called in for the camps on multiple occasions, I must be doing something right.
Awesome, that's great to hear. So Saqib, you came up through Strike 06, and now you're in Sheffield. You've had about 25 fights. You mentioned you've won most of them. Only lost a couple on split decisions. Tell us about your boxing journey, the number of titles you've won, all the sort of biggest fights that brought you where you are today.
Yeah. So as an amateur, obviously it was a short career, but it was a career filled with a lot of success. I won a few regional titles, which would be our region, Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire. I won obviously a national title, which would obviously be the whole country, and then I boxed abroad for England in box cups, like tournaments with other countries as well, like the likes of Poland, Ukraine, Russia, Latvia, Germany, and I've won a few of them as well. So in terms of that, I've had a lot of high-end experience. Even though I've had less fights, it's high-end experience with elite bouts.
Yeah.
So I feel like all that served me quite well.
Awesome. And out of all those regional titles and national titles, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment so far in your short but entertaining career?
What would you say? From the start.
Yeah, what would you say? You know what? That was the best win there. Amateur and pros combined. What would you say? Yeah, best title so far and best fight.
Best fight. I've been in a lot of good fights.
A lot of good fights, yeah. For me, best title would have to be his national title. You won it back in 2022 or 21. 21
is straight off the COVID finish. It's 21. The only thing about that though, because it was straight after COVID, my family couldn't be there. No one was allowed spectators, just my coach. Obviously, it was probably one of the best days of my life. But that win meant a lot to me and my family. So that would probably be the best win. Best performance, what would you say?
Best performance has to be, there was a time where he was fighting the home counties, and this guy that he was fighting has to be probably the tallest guy he's ever boxed. I've never seen someone that tall.
Who are you about, Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was his height? Like, what's the reach difference here?
Bro, he was at least, I told you, 6'4", 6'5"?
6'3", 6'4", yeah.
And he was at your weight class?
Yeah.
He must have been skinny.
Well. Yeah, so right now, so we boxed at 63. Right now, Charlie's 75, he boxes at. So he's obviously much bigger than us, and he's still big for that way. So I remember I got there, I was like, which guy am I fighting? You know, as amateur, you look at which guy you fighting. Obviously, I've looked at him, and I'm like, I'm not fighting this guy. This guy's too big.
Yeah.
And then before you know, I'm in the ring with him, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, how do I reach this guy? The times where I was jumping up to hit him. But it was a good fight.
It was such a good fight.
It was, you know what it is? You know, sometimes you just gotta forget the boxing, and you just gotta go to scrapping.
It's almost like David Hay when he fought that guy that was like 7 foot.
That's what I felt like at the time, because to reach his face, I had to jump. So it was a good fight.
Yeah. How did you win?
I can't lie.
And the Nigerian one as well.
Yeah, I've had quite a few good fights. With Charlie, I won on a unanimous, but in the last round, I hit him, but the ropes kept him up, so it got counted twice. I can't lie. Near the end, I started to get on top of him.
Wow.
And Alfie was a really good fight as well. We were both 9-0, but we both fought each other. He's now like a few-time national champion. He's done quite well in his career as well.
Nice. And out of curiosity, what's your knockout percentage? I mean, do you knock quite a lot of guys out, or is it mainly points?
Mainly points, but obviously as an amateur, it's very hard to get knockouts. But I used to always get knockdowns near enough every fight. So I used to always win quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think it's quite normal to see in the lower weight classes, a lot of them go the distance.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of power to knock a guy out.
Yeah. When boxers amateurs and you've got the head guards on and the really like padded gloves. It's a big difference. I wore some amateur gloves the other day actually, and it feels completely different to what I'm used to now.
Yeah, for sure. I've always been interested to know, how the weight cut works, because some of these fighters. I mean, you look at Canelo throughout his career, he was losing like 20, 30 pounds and then gaining 20 pounds in one night. So how does that work? I mean, how many pounds or kgs do you normally lose in a camp?
Yeah, you know what? I lose quite a lot. I'm quite a big guy, especially for the weight. So one thing about me is I love food. I can't stop eating.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm not training. But for example, my last fight, I didn't have that much notice. I only had 4 weeks. So I cut about 10 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 4 weeks.
Yeah. But obviously with the dehydration and stuff, it makes things a bit easier. I probably lost about 4 or 5 in the last week.
Wow.
But in terms of the rehydration, how much did I put on overnight? I weighed in at 135, and I think I was about 148 the next day.
Wow.
But it wasn't like I'm just stuffing my face. I have a nutritionist.
Yeah.
He's giving me a plan to eat afterwards.
Yeah.
People think like you just weigh in and you just eat whatever you want, but it's nothing like that. I have a plan. It's a proper detailed plan. I have to drink a certain amount of water at a certain time.
Yeah.
Once I complete that timer, another timer starts. I have to eat
a
certain amount of things in that time. I've got to chew the food about 40 times. So I've got to chew the food. So it doesn't mess up my belly. So a lot goes into it. But you know what? It all pays off at the end of the day.
Do you have your own nutritionist, or is it your trainer that
I have my own separate nutritionist. We work together camp to camp. Obviously, I've only had 2 fights, so we work together 2 camps. But obviously, he's learning more about my body, and I'm learning more about my body as well, because I've only done it twice in my entire life. So obviously, there's certain things that I know about my body and what type of foods affect my body and my performance. So me and him have a good nutritionist. He's a really good nutritionist.
Nice. So Saqib, outside of boxing, do you do anything else for work, or is it boxing your full-time thing now?
So I did do teaching, which a lot of people are surprised about.
Oh, okay, so you used to be a teacher, yeah?
Yeah, I work with SEN kids, bad behavior kids, but
okay.
I used to be probably the worst behaved kid out there when I was a kid. But I used to do that. I still do, actually. I did it last week. So obviously, sometimes I get busy with boxing and stuff, as being a professional boxer now. Alhamdulillah, I've got some amazing sponsors behind me. There's a lot of local sponsors as well, like Spartans Law and MEG Foods, and these guys are my full-time sponsors, and they help me when it comes to a fight to just fully focus on the fight.
Great, yeah, you need that, don't you?
Yeah, and at this stage of my career, it really helps me out just to fully focus on boxing and nothing else. I don't need to worry about money or a job, because they help me and they support me. So alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to them.
Awesome.
And I'm grateful that I get this opportunity as well.
Awesome. For the listeners listening in today, we are live today on Sportscast, and we are joined by a very special guest, professional boxer Saqib Mehmood, who recently turned professional. He is 2-0. He's had a great and short but very amazing amateur career so far, and now he's finally turned pro. He's 2-0 so far. We're also joined by his friend Arif as well. So anyone tuning in now, please do call us in. If you have any questions for Saqib or Arif, you can call us live in the studio on 01582 481822. You can also message us on WhatsApp on 07779 481822. As per usual, you can also comment on our live stream on Facebook and YouTube. So, gentlemen, going back to the questions, Saqib, you turned pro about a year ago, and now you are with Adam Morelli at SJAM Boxing and X-Line Management. So how did that partnership come about, and what's it been like working with them?
So the partnership with them worked actually. So the first person I got in contact with was with a man called Gaz at X-Line Management. Right, so I think I met him around 2026, now around 3 years ago. I just dropped him a message one day, said I want to turn professional, can you help me out? He said I need to see if you're actually good, if I want to help you. So what he did was he put a lot of time into me, and he took me around the country to spar professional. That's how I first got into. That was like my first taste of professional boxing.
Sure.
Going around the country and sparring professionals, and I did that quite a lot with him. And this is where I sparred the likes of world champions before even becoming a professional. And boxing is such a tight-knitted community behind the closed doors, and stories always come out of who's performing well and who's this and who's that, who's this new kid. So what happened was SJAM then got in contact with guys, and then before you knew it, we had an agreement between the 3 of us, and now I'm with them both, and it's been an incredible journey. In such a short amount of time, we've had a lot go on.
Awesome. So tell us about S-Jam Boxing. What is this a promotional company?
A management company. So Adam Morley is my manager. He's managed the likes of David Hay in the past, Joe Joyce, Johnny Fisher.
Yeah.
Johnny Fisher.
Big names, yeah.
Yeah, Florian Marku, people like that. So you know what it is with someone like that. He's done it at world level. He knows what it takes to take a fighter to the world level. So I feel like I'm in good safe hands with people like that.
Right. So you've been boxing for around 6 or 7 years now. You've gone through the amateurs. You've had a few fights. I'll ask the question in a second because we do have a caller, which is great to see. So we've had someone call in today. Hello, who are we speaking to, and what question do you have today for Saqib?
Well, for the second fight.
For the third fight, I think he means. You're 2-0, isn't it?
Are you on about my next fight upcoming or the one I just had?
Okay.
To be fair with you, the nerves weren't as bad as the first time. The first time, I got so nervous, I fell backstage before I even went to the stage, and the woman said to me, "Have you fainted?" I was like, "Nah, I haven't fainted. I'm just scared. I'm just scared for my life right now." But the second time, obviously, it was quite quick after the first one, so I felt much more calmer with the nerves. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time in my life I've had a fight, amateur and professional, that I felt no bit of nerves. I felt like I genuinely belonged there.
Yeah. And
I felt like as a Muslim, Allah put me there for a reason, and it was what, I'll be honest with you, one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life.
Nice. Daniel, have you got any more questions for Saqib or Arif in the studio? Thank you very much for your call, Daniel. Look forward to hearing back from you soon. Thank you. That was Daniel that called in to ask our professional boxer and guest today, Saqib Mehmood, who recently turned professional and is a professional fighter with a record of 2-0, undefeated so far. So Saqib, your pro debut was live on TV, Channel 5, with Wasserman Boxing back in November. Take us inside that night. You just spoke to Daniel and you mentioned that on that first night, you had a lot of nerves. Tell us the feelings that you had on that day. How many people were in the crowd? Talk us through that journey.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, leading up to that action, the fight itself, we had like a media day, we had a weigh-in day, and I was completely fine. I felt no bit of nerves. My brothers were with me, and they're like, my parents as well, and they're like, "Oh, Saqib, you nervous yet? You're nervous? How you feeling? It's gonna be okay." And I'm like, "I'm not nervous one bit. I'm completely fine." And genuinely, that's how I felt. I felt completely fine. I didn't feel like I was having a fight. Then the actual day comes around, and then things change. I remember being in the changing room, and I was warming up, and Arif would know about this because Arif's a boxer. Your legs is just nothing, innit?
Yeah, I feel like jelly.
It was like jelly, and I feel like I've got no substance in my legs. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's this going on? But the gloves are all taped up, the shorts are taped. Like, you can't go to the toilet. You're stuck in it. You just have to deal with it. And I remember they came knocking on the door, like the security, to take me to the venue, and that's when it really hit. Like, you know, I know as a boxer, your whole life comes down to this moment. As an amateur boxer, you've trained. Everything comes down to this professional boxing. And everything comes down to your pro debut. You only get it once. They always say that to you.
Yeah.
So I remember I got backstage, right, and I wasn't nervous at seeing the cameras and stuff, but I could see all my friends and my family in the crowd. There was quite a lot of us, so I could spot a few people. I could see my dad. I could see my close friends, and that's when it feels like real. There's no going back now. You know.
Yeah.
I've always talked about being a boxer, and now I'm here now, and there's no escape. And I had this weird feeling in my stomach, and it was like I needed a toilet, but I didn't need a toilet. It was just like a weird feeling. And I remember the woman said to me, she was on the stage, and she said to me, "Oh, when your opponent walks up to the stage, make sure you come up but don't fall over." She said it as a joke.
Yeah.
So he's gone, and I've gone up the stage, and the first thing I do is I fall over.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's nothing in my legs. Like, it's complete jelly.
My God. Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, are you okay? Have you fainted?" I'm like, "No, I'm just scared." She's like, "Why are you so scared for?" I was like, this is the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's when it really hit.
Yeah.
She's like, "All right, you're gonna be fine." So I remember I did the ring walk. I felt okay during the ring walk, but I was still nervous because I took some time to come up because my legs still felt like jelly. I got inside the ring and I went to my trainer Jason in the corner. I said, "Jason, man, I need to get out of here. This is too scary. How am I gonna do this?" And he's like, "All right, you're gonna be fine." And I remember as soon as the bell rang after the first jab, I went, no, it's just the nerves go. The nerves go. Everything's gone. You feel completely fine. It's just the first shot. You just need to get out of the way. And then, so that's how I dealt with it. But obviously, coming into the second one, I knew I was going to get them feelings again. And it's just about controlling it this time. But the second time, I'll be honest with you, I was excited to get in that ring, and I was looking forward to it. So now I'm really excited and looking forward to the third one. And
your debut was only a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was end of November.
Wow. So it's only been a few months into your journey. You're 2-0. You got your nerves back behind you, but I'm sure there's a lot of big nights to come ahead of you. We only have around 20 or 30 seconds left of the first half of the show, and we're going to have a break, and then we will join back in the second half, where we'll discuss more about your career so far. For those tuning in, this is Sportscast. We are live in the studio today with professional boxer Saqib Mehmood and his friend and co-boxer as well, Arif. So please do join us after the break, where we will speak with Saqib and Arif about their boxing journey. Do join us after the break. That was a good first half, guys.
Yeah, all right.
Was that your boy? I called him.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It was bad, isn't it?
There's no WhatsApp and.
He's messaging me throughout. You know, he sounds.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that.
No, I don't know if anyone's messaged yet.
Nah, I saw it's one person's message saying salam.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Call in today. We've got professional boxer in the studio. Call in on 01582481822 or message on 07779481822. We've got about half an hour left in the show. Make sure you call in. Yeah, go for it, bro. Yeah.
Your first choice for accident claims. The specialist claims company on Dunstable Road in Luton, with excellent access to expert solicitors and on an independent basis. Claim specialists use their expertise experience to help their team the best compensation possible for injuries at work, taxi, PCR, private hire incidents, road accidents, vehicle damage, medical negligence.
You done stuff like this, like move like your postage until the scheme is weird. Or like getting the boxes against that's the most, that's scary. What I'd fight? That's scary to fight. Yeah, in the fight, 100%. That's the first time my legs went.
I've done like a jiu-jitsu fight before. I understand the feeling, bro. You're scared, bro. Your heart is racing.
Especially like, let's say like for me, obviously, I'm not box pro yet, but like let's say like national championships and that.
Have we fought a national championship?
Boxing national championships,
Yeah.
So like when you're doing pads with boxing abroad, and there'll be times when my coach never tells us the record, like who you find. So there's one kid I fought recently, probably 2022 when I went to Poland. I boxed a guy that's now an Olympian. He's part of the Polish Olympic team. Oliver, whatever his name. He's part of the 54 kilo Olympic team.
Can they hear us on Facebook right now?
Yeah, they're live on Facebook. Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. No, as in not now. Not now. It's a break right now.
Yeah.
After the break, it will be live again.
So when I boxed that kid, that time I didn't have much fights, and I was very scared. I actually prayed. You know what? This is scary. I prayed Tajud. I actually woke up prayed Tajud. I woke up at 2 in the morning, and one of my boxing teammates, he was fooling around the whole week, and then during fight day, he was scared. He was actually stressing.
Yeah.
We both woke. We both woke up for Tajud. We prayed Tajud. Went back in bed. Woke up at 8 o'clock. Did our weigh and everything. Saw my opponent. He just looked like a normal guy, like a normal Polish white boy. You know what I mean? Next minute, when I got in the ring, everything just finished. Everything went. The nerves went. I don't know if it's so good. Even when I was doing pads, I was feeling so stiff and nervous.
No, someone just sent me on Facebook. Yeah, they said you just asked if it's on a break, and he said it's on a break.
On Facebook Live?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
and your friends talking about fighting a Polish kid.
But how? It's muted. I don't understand.
Is that mic's muted?
We're about to be live again. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Sportscast, where we are live in the studio today on a special show because we're joined by two very special guests. One, Saqib Mehmood, professional boxer with a 2-0 record, and we have his childhood friend and fellow boxer as well, who one day hopefully will also become a professional boxer, and that is Arif, inshallah. We've had some messages come through on Facebook. Ibrahim said, "Assalamu alaikum, brother Saqib." I will then convey that salam to the whole group, so to myself and Arif as well. So, wa alaikum assalam, Ibrahim, and jazakallah for messaging us on Facebook. To all the listeners, please do interact with us in any way, whether it's on the live stream on Facebook or YouTube. You can also message us on WhatsApp, where I'll be reading your messages on 07779 481822. We had a caller before in the first half of the show, where Dawood called in on 01582 481822. So if you want to have any questions, you want to have a conversation with Saqib or Arif or myself, please do call us in the studio on 01582 481822. So Saqib, before the break, we were speaking about your professional career so far, your amateur journey, your first fight, where you discussed the nerves that you had. You also mentioned that you've sparred some world-class ex-world champions. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that. When you had those sessions, in the sparring sessions with these ex-world champions, break that down for us. When you done the sparring session after it, was there a moment when you felt, you know what, I belong, I'm a pro, I can do it?
Yeah, I feel like when I sparred a professional boxer for the first time, the first pro I ever sparred was Hasanayn, who at the time was British and European champion. And I remember sparring him, and I remember after the spar how I felt, the feeling, because that made me realize it was a different game. Because I'll be honest with you, the last couple of rounds, he paced me from corner to corner. That's when I realized this is a complete different game. But I feel at that point, that spar, that changed my life, and that changed my perspective on boxing. Because then when I started to spar, and the more I improved and the more world champions I sparred, I could see the improvement. I could see the way I was getting better. And even these type of people watching the spar, world champion trainers. Funny enough, I sparred Joe Cordino with Anthony Joshua watching.
Yeah.
And he came up to me after the spar, and he was like, "You know what, you're really good. Are you professional?"
AJ said that.
Yeah, AJ said that.
Oh, serious?
And I was like, no, I'm still an amateur. And I'm back to it. And at the time, I think I only had about 19 or 20.
Okay.
And he was shocked himself as well. So when people like that can see the ability and can see that, there is something to me, is sometimes I have to say to myself, like, you know what, if everyone's seeing it, there must be something.
That must have been a huge confidence boost, man, coming from AJ.
Things like that are confidence boosters. When I spar against world champions, and all these people are saying all these things about me, even people behind the scenes, when they talk, it really does boost my confidence. It makes me realize, like, if I'm doing this well against the likes of these people at such an early point of my career, imagine when I have 10, 15 fights, 20 fights, how good can I actually be? And then that gives me confidence, makes me believe that I can genuinely go all the way. And become a world champion.
No, that's awesome. Have you ever had a sparring session with an ex-world champ and you were like, you know what, I actually got the better of him there in that session, or you at least held your own? Have you ever had it? I won't ask you to name who it was.
You know what? I'll say something. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
That probably happened around 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
3 weeks ago, just in preparation for this fight.
All right. So you sparred a world champ and you were like, you know what?
I sparred a world champion, and I don't want to say too much, but I sparred a world champion.
Yeah, no names, sorry, no names.
And I was meant to spar them multiple times for a fight, but they had a fight coming up, and they decided not to spar for one spar.
Okay.
So that's when my coach said it to me. They were like, after the spar, my coach said to me, "These guys are not going to come back. You know that, right?" I was like, "He's a world champion. Of course he's going to come back. He's a world champion." But his coach messaged me after saying that they want to spar some amateurs instead, and they're not going to come back to spar.
Nice.
So that was a good confidence builder right before the fight.
And what were your thoughts in that actual sparring session? Did you think, you know what, I held my own, or I done better than him?
It was my first spar back into training camp because I had short notice fight.
Yeah.
I had sparred this person before a few years ago. And when I sparred them, it was a hectic spar. Like, that's when I was there and I was like, this guy is a world champion for a reason. However, this spar, when I felt much more comfortable and in control.
Right.
Obviously, I've sparred so much in between that, and I've become a professional in between that. And obviously, that's why I've improved and whatever. I put the time in behind the scenes. But I remember sparring him, and I just felt like I've been in harder spars with harder people. Probably with Arif, actually.
Yeah? Did you guys spar with each other?
Yeah, we used to spar. Me and Arif actually sparred. How many matches did we spar? Hundreds, loads.
Good.
So Arif knows everything about me. I know everything about Arif. So at that time in the sparring, I felt comfortable. But obviously, sometimes when you spar, you don't realize how good it looks from an outside point of view. Sometimes I have a fight and I don't realize how good I've done until I've seen on the video. And I'm like, oh, did I actually do that?
I can imagine. Yeah.
So I remember there was a lot of people there as well, and they all said the same thing to me, like, wow, well, you did really good. And then we never came back to the gym after.
So I want to ask you a question, and I want you to answer honestly. So, Saqib, do you think you can become world champion one day?
Yes.
Yeah? You've got that inner belief, you genuinely believe it?
I genuinely believe right now, the ability I've shown for someone who's been in boxing a short amount of time, I genuinely believe, and the people that have seen me and what people have said about me, I genuinely believe I can go all the way. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't do it.
Great.
Because I can do better things and earn money instead of getting punched in the face.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great mindset to have, and it's good to hear that you have that confidence. So I'm going to ask you, when do you think you can become world champion? How long do you think you need?
I'm 22 now. I didn't have that many amateur fights. So sometimes people get caught up and they end up rushing their career. They end up believing their own hype and they rush their careers. That's something I don't want to do. I want to take my time. So if I had to put a number on it, 22, maybe by 30.
Yeah?
By 30.
I think that's very realistic. You've got a good head on your shoulders, clearly. You're not just going to go jump ahead in the ring with a 5-time world champion tomorrow. No, but that's good. It's good to hear that you've got that confidence, and I pray one day you do it. Inshallah, we're definitely rooting for you. The fact that you're a Muslim brother, the fact that you're from Luton, I wish nothing but the best, and I hope one day you do go ahead and become world champion. And for you, Arif, do you want to become professional, or are you just happy doing boxing as a little side thing?
You know what? I've come too far. You know, sometimes you think you're like, what's the point of? I've had doubts. I'll be honest. I think every boxer has some sort of doubt. I've had doubts when I was young. Like, why am I boxing? What is the point of this?
Yeah.
But then you think like, I've come too far, man. I've come too far to like then what? Just to scrap it all off.
Yeah.
I've come too far. So yeah, 100%. I want to turn pro. I feel like with my style, especially with the weight I box at, I'll be very fun. Especially, and also that I feel like with my character and everything, I'll be a fun character to watch. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
You're Prince Naseem Hamid, yeah.
I want to say Prince Naseem Hamid. I think fight-wise, I'll be I'll be quite entertaining. I win a lot of fans over.
Yeah.
Mainly because of my fight style is more like I love a war.
I'll tell you something about Arif, and everyone in the gym come back to me on this, Arif is a lot lighter than us, in terms of weight. There is no person I've seen ever in boxing who's got a better chin than him.
Yeah?
Genuinely.
That's what I'm saying, man. You're like Manny Pacquiao. You actually look like him. Manny Pacquiao.
I'm telling you that. I've sparred him so many times, and I'm telling you that he is probably one of the most awkward fighters or awkward person I've ever sparred. Obviously, in terms of weight-wise, he's obviously a bit higher than me, but he's just skill set-wise because he's a southpaw, but he's just so awkward. I'm telling you now, he's so flashy, so awkward.
The listeners are probably thinking you're talking about Pacquiao here. You're talking about Saqib.
You don't want to be like, with him, he's someone, you don't want to just stand there and just wait there and trade or try to catch him because you would never be able to do that. You have to move, you have to he's just very awkward.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, just before lockdown, I was boxing at 49 kilos, so men's light flyweight. So back then in the amateur England boxing, they had men's light flyweight. I used to box him, but I used to also box another boxer that we had, professional boxer as well, Muhammad Aziz Ishi. Everyone knows he's an Ishi boxer.
Okay.
I spar him. I'll be honest, he was probably one of the most hardest guys I've ever been hit by. Generally, I don't think I've ever been hit by someone that hard.
Yeah.
He's hit me hard, like in sparring. Alhamdulillah, I've never been taken out by him.
Yeah.
But he's been hard. So for me, because I've always been the lightest guy in the gym, I've always boxed the heavy boys anyways.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, even when it works out well for me, because when I'm fighting or in my bouts and stuff, I have opponents that might hit hard. But obviously in the ring, I don't feed it. Obviously in the judges' eyes, they might even give me a standing 8 count. Because as a judge, they might see a different perspective. But with me, I'll be honest, he's right. I can take a lot of shots. But I can give back as well.
Yeah.
I'm a little sample, so
nice.
I can give back, 100%.
Nice. So if I was to ask both of you, if there's like a boxing legend that your sort of game resembles, who would it be? So like, what type of fighter are you like? And think about a household name that the listeners would know.
Yeah. For me, definitely Pacquiao, 100% Manny Pacquiao, and also Arturo Gatti.
Yeah. You know, when you were talking, I was thinking of like Eric Morales, Marco
Barrera,
Antonio Barrera. You know, the Mexican legend.
Yeah, of course.
But Arturo Gatti is a very good one. Yeah. Gatti used to take a lot of punches, but he used to give them back. Yeah. I remember the fight they had against Mayweather, man. I mean, he just couldn't get knocked out, man.
I watched that over there, actually.
Yeah, Gatti against Mayweather.
Yeah.
Obviously, massive difference in class, but that guy can take a punch, man. Arturo Gatti, man, he was a warrior. Yeah.
You know what other guy I actually do look up to? Like, not everyone will look into him, but you know Johnny Nelson.
Yeah.
Johnny Nelson. The reason why is because
this is the guy that does the face-offs, right?
Yeah. That's it. The reason why is because his career is such an influential career in a sense where, for instance, me, I'll be honest, like I'm gonna be so serious. Like obviously, Saqib's had a very good amateur career. I'll be honest, like he's had 3 losses.
Yeah.
My career has been a very odd one in a sense where I've had many losses, but I've had my wins, but many losses. And a lot of these losses have been I go to another boy's like home show, boxing on a maybe like let's say 3 days notice, 4 days notice, and I'll lose either by silly like split decision, like a narrow decision, because they want to give their homeboy like the favorite, you know?
Yeah.
Which is a bit silly, but that's just amateur boxing for you in England, isn't it?
But I get it. You know your fighting style.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Your fighting style, you'll get impressive wins, but it'll come with the loss as well.
Yeah,
I think it's that style.
I feel like the losses are always close.
Yeah. And they don't matter as much.
Yeah, 100%.
If you look at a guy like Arturo Gatti, you might look at his record, and it'll look like he wasn't a great fighter, but he was impressive, man. He had a lot of wins, so I kind of understand your style. And what about you, Saqib? I know you've already described your style. You like to put on a show. By the sounds of it, you sound like Amir Khan, man. But I mean, which sort of fighter do you resemble in terms of household names?
The thing is, I wouldn't say it's any like legends, but that's the only thing. I'd say a lot of people. What do people say? They say the same too. I get the same too all the time. Ben Whittaker and Josh Kelly.
Okay.
I get them two the most.
Josh Kelly.
Josh Kelly I always get because flashy, fast, good footwork, good hand speed. He likes to show off. Yeah, and I feel like that's the one I get quite.
That sounds like Naseem Hamed, eh?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so kind of like a Naseem Hamed, flashy, fast, like to put on a show.
Yeah. 100%, just like you said, flashy, confident, like to put on a show. I feel like that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and would you say you have your hands up and keep your defense? Would you sometimes get a bit cocky, put your hands down, like to put on a show? Like Naseem Hamed, he didn't really have his hands up. He was so quick. He was so quick.
You know when you're starting off boxing and you're training, everyone always says you put your hands up. But I just feel comfortable with my hands now.
Okay.
I feel like when the hands are down, you're much more alert. So when you're alert, you're just in a better. I feel like you just hit flow state. When I hit flow state, that's where everything comes together.
The thing is, even when he started boxing, like I remember back in 2017, 2016, something like that. Anyways, when he first started boxing, like obviously everyone's known to like put their hands up, and obviously as a beginner as well. He was just natural, I'll be honest. He was natural. I feel like it was in his blood the whole fight. His brothers had a very good amateur pedigree as well.
Yeah.
So before whatever happened. And I feel like he just had it. It was just written for him, destined for him.
Yeah.
To obviously be a boxer and be a professional boxer because he never ever had his hand up.
Yeah.
He was one guy that never really had his hand up.
So you kind of rely on your reflexes and speed.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite me.
No, but you learn as you go along. You look at someone like AJ, man. AJ started at the age of 18 as well. He started very late, and you saw him develop his skills in his career. I mean, even if you look at him now, he's not he's not the most skillful heavyweight boxer in the world, but he built his career. Started off, and then you even sort of remember against Dylan White, it wasn't a finished article. He got rocked, and he got better and better and better. So, I mean, when you start late, you kind of improve every single year. I mean, if you have a long amateur career, like 10, 15 years, you already polished when you start.
It could go stale for a bit.
Yeah. But you started late, so I guess you still got time ahead of you to improve as you go along. And I'm sure there'll be fights where you're tested a little bit, and that's when you're really going to start developing.
Then I'll put the hands up.
So Saqib, tell us, now that you're based in Sheffield, walk us through the day and the life of a professional boxer. You know, what time do you get up? How many meals a day do you have? How many times a day do you train?
Yeah, so when I'm in camp, like full camp, and I'm training for a fight, I'd say I wake up in the morning. I wake up relatively early anyways, because I have an early session, but my nutritionist has it, so I have to eat 2 hours before the first session. So I'll eat. People think it's boring food. I eat really good food. For example, I'll run you through one of my favorite days in terms of like the meal plan and stuff. So I'll eat egg, bagels, and avocado in the morning. I'll do my first session in the morning around 10 o'clock, whatever it is, a boxing session, or like sparring, whether it's a bag session, a pad session, whatever. I'll get my boxing session out of the way. I'll come home and eat. My favorite type of meal after that is a hot honey taco bowl. That's one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Then I'll probably take a nap. I can sleep forever, but I'll go for a nap. I'll nap for about an hour and a half. I'll wake up. I'll eat my pizza and my chips.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, people think I eat boring food. I eat good food.
In training camp, you eating pizza and chips?
It's a special type of pizza because you gotta make it healthy, but it tastes the same. People think I eat boring foods, but I eat some of the best food. Like, I'm literally, the only thing I crave is sugar, but that's normal.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, it's not boring food. I can eat the same thing every day, but it changes every day depending on what the day is.
Yeah.
Then I'll do a session, let's just say sprint session, or like an interval session at the gym, or a conditioning session. I'll do something like that. Then I'll come home and then I'll eat like, what's my fourth meal last time? It was garlic parmesan chicken and chips.
Okay.
So that's 4 big meals, 2 training sessions, and I'll go sleep early. I don't like to stay up.
So how many calories you consuming in a training?
I don't know. I've never asked anyone, but it's got to be a couple of thousand.
No, of course it's a couple thousand, man.
A couple of thousand.
Just
they're big portions as well. Sometimes like I'm struggling to eat it, and my mum helps me out with the food.
Yeah. So
sometimes I'm like to her, Ami, did you weigh the food correctly?
Yeah.
She's like, yes, actually I did. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. I'm like, this is too much. Like, no, I weighed it. And she's like, do it in front of you.
Yeah.
And then I messaged my nutritionist. I'm like, no, are you sure this is the right thing I'm going to be eating?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And then I'm thinking everyone's crazy in the house because this is too much for me to eat.
Yeah.
But the next morning I checked my weight and it's dropped.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, this is working. Let me just stick to it.
You know, after the show, you need to give me this plan, man. I'm trying to cut myself, man. I've put on too much weight. This past year for me has been mad. I recently tore my Achilles. So.
Oh, I swear.
I was playing tennis.
Tennis?
Oh, and I was playing tennis and I tore my Achilles. And then since then, I just put on so much weight, man.
Did you have surgery on it?
Yeah, I had to. It was completely detached. Yeah. You know,
I've heard that's really bad pain when it happens.
No, when it happens, you don't feel it because of the adrenaline. So for me, like I had an ACL tear a few years ago, and then I had surgery. And then after my ACL tear, I was never the same again. I couldn't. Like one injury just turns into another.
Turns into more.
Yeah. So then I kind of went back into sports after 2 years of not really being mobile because of my knee, and then I started playing tennis, but I kind of overdid it. I was just playing too much, too quick, and then I pushed off my foot to run for a drop shot. The drop shot wasn't even that good. I just went forward.
You just in the zone.
I just went and I just heard the snap. It sounds like a tennis ball hitting the ground. And I knew immediately what it was because I watch a lot of sports. Yeah. And I know these athletes, when they describe a torn Achilles, how it feels and the sound that you hear as well. Because it feels like someone hits you in the back of the foot. And I heard the snap and immediately I was like, I tore my Achilles. And I was playing with my brother-in-law. Yeah. And my brother-in-law was like, maybe it's not, man. How do you know? I was like, no, trust me, I know it's a torn Achilles. And
were you in pain, like screaming or not?
I was in pain, and I knew immediately it was a torn Achilles. And then I tried standing up to test it. I was like, let me see if it is. Yeah. And then I just couldn't put any weight on it. And I was like, yeah, 100% it's torn Achilles. And then I was in bed for like 2 months after the surgery, man. And then inshallah, man. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, definitely give me that nutrition plan, man. Because I like my food as well, man.
Yeah. Stop eating after.
Yeah. I mean, ethnically, where are you guys from?
I'm from Pakistan, from Bangladesh.
Okay, so yeah, we're notorious for our food. So.
Yeah, man, it gets really bad, man.
Do you have Pakistani food as well and Bengali food? And Bengali?
Yeah. I mean, I have my stuff like, but like I'm trying to cut weight myself. Like speaking about, I'm trying to eat healthy and I'm trying to like stick to a diet plan and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be tempting.
Yeah.
You know, obviously when you got your mom cooking like nice food, traditional stuff, you know, but you just gotta be grounded.
Yeah,
you gotta be grounded.
This is one of the hardest things ever, man.
Yeah, because your diet plan, you're like, taco bowl, pizza, chips, doesn't really sound like Pakistani food. So.
Yeah, no, it isn't. But sometimes I don't really. I get weird cravings. Like I'll see everyone eating roti, and I'll be like, "Yo, I want that today as well."
That's it. So, at your age, because you're really young, 22. I mean, still a kid, man. You still got a long way to go. I mean, you probably got like a 15-year career at least ahead of you, depending on how long you want to go for. So, at your age, how do you balance your physical demands, staying injury-free, your mentality? How do you balance everything?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know, genuinely. I feel like I just have a goal in my head. I know what I want from boxing, and I know how much is at stake when it comes to, if we talked about the other side of professional boxing where people fight on small shows and they don't make no money and they're dying for TV opportunities or whatever, and I've got that straight off the bat. Alhamdulillah, I've got these opportunities straight off the bat, so I know I've got to work twice as hard. That's literally how it is, because I know the minute I make a mistake, the minute I do a bad performance, I won't get the opportunity again. So I know because of this, I have to perform, and if I don't, I'm letting the people around me down, like my sponsors, my family, my management team. They're getting me all these opportunities. My sponsors are helping me box full time, and if I'm cheating and if I'm eating chocolate or sweets or whatever, if I'm missing training sessions, I'm not doing my diet properly, I'm not training properly, then I'm letting myself down, but I'm letting everyone else around me down. There's people around me, like my trainer, for example, who puts a lot of time into me, my mom who helps me out with my food. They're also sacrificing their time and their energy as well. So if I don't do it properly, I'm gonna let everyone else down. And that's like my main driving point when it comes to training. And when things get hard, that's what I think about. I think about you've come too far and you can't let everyone down. So that helps me, really focus.
I think it's all about the mentality, 100%. What you just said, it's all about mentality. You have to have, with boxing, you have to have a thick skin. You have to be very resilient, strong as well. Especially with eating as well. You can't, because one little food can maybe even determine everything. So that's why you gotta be careful. It's like even like for instance him, like obviously now he's a professional boxer. It's like whatever diet plan he's got, he has to stick, because like you said, boxing it's a hard sport. I feel like a lot of people don't know, like especially a lot of these fighters, like alhamdulillah, he's got the platform now. He's got the platform to fight on TV, find out under a big management, alhamdulillah. But there's a lot of fighters out there where they're fighting on small ball shows. They're not getting paid much, if I'm honest. A lot of their wages, or imagine a lot of their money that they're making from that fight is going to the management, to a lot of other stuff. So, and I know a lot of fighters like that I grew up with, like professional boxers, we both like maybe grew up with and stuff, and we watched them box, and a lot of them have actually quit boxing.
They've been very talented people, but it's that side of boxing when you get older, you're not making any money from it, and then you've got to focus on an actual career. At the end of the day, you're not making anything out of it.
It's high risk, isn't it?
It's very high risk. So, but the thing is, I've got these opportunities, so that's what helps me focus on it. Because then I say to myself, as a Muslim, we believe in everything happens for a reason. So then I believe Allah's put me here for a reason. So if I'm here, if I'm getting these opportunities, I'm getting these fights, it's not by mistake.
So we've only got a couple minutes left, but I'm going to follow on from what you just said there, and that is, how important is your religion to you, your faith?
I can't even describe how important it is when it comes to my life and my career right now. I wouldn't be here without my religion, and that's just how I see things. And like, I genuinely believe that everything happens for a reason. Last year was very hard for me because I turned professional, but things kept falling through. Fights kept falling through, issues kept happening with promoters or whatever. And there was a time in my life where I started getting alopecia in my face and on my bed because I was stressed out that much. And I was just saying to myself, is this for me? Is this for me? This is a sign not to do it. Just take a back step, do something else while you're still young. But then my mom, my dad, my brothers kept saying to me, listen, everything happens for a reason. And as stressed as I was, once I fully believe that. You know, there's one thing saying it, and then there's one thing actually believing it. Once I fully believe the fact that Allah has a plan for me, stop stressing, and just believe that He has a plan for you, and whatever's right for you is gonna happen. Whatever's meant for you is gonna happen. Once I fully believe that in my life, everything, and I say this to my friends all the time. I even say to Arab as well. Once I fully believe that mentality, alhamdulillah, everything came into place so fast in such a short amount of time. But like we said, my first fight was in November. I boxed on the BBC in January. Inshallah, I'll be boxing again in end of April or May on another big TV platform. And if you told me this last year, I'd say you're crazy. This isn't going to happen. But with everything that was going on, if you told me that you'd be a full-time athlete with sponsors helping you out, helping your career out, I'd say you're crazy. But I fully believe that it's changed my life, and Allah has changed my life. And I've got to keep my head grounded, and I've got to keep on my prayers and my religion. Allah's put me on this platform, so I have to be grateful. I've got to keep my head down.
Alhamdulillah. That's great to hear. That's all we've got time for today, guys. It's been a great show. It's been a pleasure having you. Alhamdulillah, great to hear the background and the grounding that you have. I wish you all the best. That's all for this week. Please join us next week on Sportscast. See you then. Take care. Bye.